a cloud of witnesses you are. Amazing. No, not amazing at all, expected. What? Louder? I said, what a cloud of witnesses you are. It's amazing. I didn't expect it, but yes, I did. I am Darla Durham from Mississippi and New Orleans. Patricia was and always will be my best friend. Now, I know that you all think that she was your best friend. And by last count, there are 3,847 of us. It's absolutely correct for you to consider Patricia your best friend. Because when she lowered that chin and looked at you with her eyebrows a little bit arched, and maybe even with her finger doing this, you knew in that moment that you were the only person in her world. And that extended to thousands of people. The reality that I might not be her best friend has had to sink in. So I began to describe her as my best college friend, allowing her all of the rest of you. But in this past week, I have reclaimed my position as her best friend. Not to take anything away from Denise or Robert. Patricia was 17 and I was 18 when we met. It was her freshman year of college, and because I was Miss Smart Pants, it was my senior year of college. We met at a tiny Baptist college, William Carey in Mississippi. We sat beside each other in the choir in the second soprano section, or in the second choir if we were doing a Bach motet. I've disparagingly referred to William Carey as Jesus Tech. But in the 1960s, it was a good place for us. It was a school of about 800 students, and about 100 of us were music majors. What are the chances that 4 people from that tiny college in South Mississippi would make their livings as professional musicians in New York City? The other 3 survivors are here today, and they are also her best college friends. We were in that first generation of Southern women who thought we could do something other than make the perfect pecan pie. Well, now, we can do that too. But we both thought that there was going to be something bigger in our lives. We both thought we were pretty smart, but in truth, she had a prodigious intelligence that I'll have more to say about in a bit. After college, Patricia joined me and my starter husband at Tulane, and we oh gosh, okay, I can't help myself. Sidebar, another one. Do I remind you of anybody? I had a secretary at the library at Loyola University, New Orleans, who said, she was from Memphis, she said, Starter, the first marriages are like first pancakes. They just don't turn out. I was not actually a student at Tulane. I was working on my PhD, putting heavy through, but I joined the Tulane choir and sang in summer lyric theater. And after she got her MFA, we worked together at the public library. And then she began her peripatetic journeys between Europe and New Orleans when she occupied our couch many periods of time. She occupied other people's couches too. But this really cemented our relationship, this period when she would come back from Germany or France. And I was really excited when she came back to New York. That meant that she was more easily accessible to me. I want to talk about that prodigious intellect. It was certainly matched by her huge talent and gift for languages that I can't really separate from either music or intellect. She was interested in everything besides music and art and literature. She could go toe-to-toe on cosmology with my second real husband. He was a physicist. It didn't matter to her, nor to him. But more than that, she was interested in everyone. Some of you have talked about this already. She had unmatched magnanimity. That extended, for example, to her many first-generation Spanish-speaking students at Hunter. She was already fluent in German and in French, but she felt that those students deserved to have someone, a reference librarian, speak to them in their own language. So she made it her business to become fluent in Spanish. She then used that language ability to engage not only those students, but almost every Spanish speaker whom she met, regardless of who they might be. Once we were at a conference together and I watched her walk down the cafeteria line, and she was speaking intimately to all the servers and with a genuine interest in what they had to say. And in that moment, they must have felt a certain dignity that they probably infrequently received from people who were served by them. That magnanimity was also showered on her many friends, and you all have all talked about this already. She had the grace to tolerate us people who took advantage of that quality of magnanimity. I cannot imagine the number of guest nights that have been spent in the Woodard household. And that extends to my own children who come from all over the country. They think it's their right to stay at Patricia's house. But as much as they wanted free lodging, they wanted the warmth of her son. Here I want to say a little bit about the PFW style. I never saw her wear black except for a choir concert. I'm wearing color today because of her. She might have had a black dress when she sat at the dress circle at the Met. I don't know. Oh, okay, good. Good to know. And I was thrilled when Susie showed up today in a flowered dress. It looks like Patricia. Patricia was bold. Her favorite color was orange. And she dressed in orange as long as I knew her. When we were young, it was the color, it was reflected in her naturally red hair. And then in midlife, when that red hair came out of a bottle, it was a perfect counterpoint. And then now, in more recent years, it's been this beautiful duet with the halo of white that was her hair. Heck, she even painted her kitchen orange. Orange, as we say in New Orleans. And it's the happiest place that I know, that kitchen. That vibrant color, whether it was a solid or big flowers or a geometric, contributed to make us all feel that her life was nothing but pure joy. Music is what brought us, Patricia and me, together. Music is what probably brought most of you to her. And music is certainly what brought Elliot to her. During her 100 days, she began studying intensely the hymn, although my earliest memory of Patricia was her sitting at the piano playing those tacky gospel hymns from our Baptist tradition when I had moved on to the great hymns of the church. And it has taken me a lifetime to learn that there's great meaning in those hymns. But I finally have gotten there. And so how can I keep from singing them? Which was a title of one of her papers. Patricia was absolutely devoted to her beloved Elliot, who was her partner in life and music. And he even was her partner when we sang those tacky hymns sometime, despite their theologically suspect and which was an anathema to his Jewish heritage, but he did it anyway. And last Easter, when they were taking care of me following my latest joint replacement surgery, we worked a puzzle that was all about hymns. And after Patricia sat down, Elliot and I were still in there trying to find the words to who knows what. What a friend we have in Jesus, probably. Patricia was equally dedicated to her beloved children, Robert and Susie. She didn't give up her life as a professional musician for them. She made that family her priority in a way that was as enhancing to her life as it was to theirs. Elliot and Robert and Susan, their lives and their home became her loves and her life and her home. And ultimately, she became the best grandmother ever to you, to William and Emma. Patricia was passionately devoted to the Woodard clan of Alabama. And I hope some of you have heard the Woodard family stories. Probably. They probably came mostly from Elliot, who was always astounded. But that relationship with her family is just another example of how she didn't leave Alabama behind when she came to New York. As we began to live with this devastating loss, it is, at least for me, imperative to sing those old hymns of comfort. How can I keep from singing them? It is beyond the words, it's beyond the tunes. It's cosmic. I'm not sure that I will see her on that golden shore, but I hope so.